So why did the manager bring a pencil and paper to the match? Because he was hoping for a draw. You know what? That's not half bad.
Perfect.
Hello there broskies, Erkin back here with a slightly delayed review, and it's one I've been waiting to put out. This one's been pushed back a little bit, just like I guess its initial release, but I've been ill, I'm slowly still recovering, but of course we had to get it out for you. On today's episode, we are reviewing the Nike Air Max 1 Treeline. So first things first, let's get the elephant out of the room. Of course, a lot of people were referring to this shoe as the Nike Air Max 1 Skunk. Now the reasons for it was, of course, these do draw so much similarities to the Nike Dunk SB High, and I think its initial release was way back in 2010. Now Nike are just calling this the Treeline, so I guess those comparisons are sort of deaded now. Now I've got a little theory about this though. If these were initially released in March like they were meant to, or even in April, celebrating 420 and all for all the smokers out there, I guess things might have been a little different. But maybe in another multiverse. These are of course called the Treeline or Lights Bordeaux. And that's exactly what it says on the product sticker on the box. And whilst we're speaking about the box, of course it comes in your regular Nike red box, which for some people, myself included, are slightly salty about. I mean, a sneaker that looks this good, I think Nike could have made a little bit more effort. But of course, the product sticker itself does read Nike Air Max 1 NH. And apparently this NH stands for natural hemp. We had that on the Ironstone 95 colorway too. But like I've mentioned, the official colorway is Treeline and Lights Bordeaux. Now the UK finally got their hands on these on May 7th and I couldn't wait to get these. I was trying to get my hands on these a lot earlier than I wanted to, and I weren't really trying to pay that premium price on StockX. And I was like, you know what, we'll wait for another release to do that. For now, let's just wait for retail. And thankfully, I didn't just buy one pair, I bought 3. And I weren't expecting it at all. The first pair I managed to secure off 7 Store, and I did get a second pair from Slam Jam too. And the third pair though was sort of like a shock drop or shock restock from Offspring. And I was like, you know what, I might not keep this pair, but let me just get it just in case Nike's QC is a little bit out of control with my other pairs. But the funny thing is, although I was right about Nike's QC, the one pair that was out of control was Offspring's pair. Honestly, the glue stains on that pair was such a letdown. I don't even think I would have got away with selling them for resale. I'm not that fussy when it comes to QC either, but this pair was just unacceptable. But anyway, my original plan was 1 to rock and 1 to stock, just for a later date, you know? So of course, that third pair from Offspring, Postman Pat, is making a little trip back. So the Air Max 1 celebrating its 35th anniversary this year, and it's only right that Nike are blessing us with all of these different colorways. And Nike actually released another colorway to go as a 2-part pack to this, and it was called the Light Madder Root. And shout out to Sneaker Ajeossi, man, you are a legend, bro. I want to leave a link down to your review down below because that is just hilarious. And he's one of the ones to go to for early reviews because I think he's out in Korea, so you get some early heat very early. But anyway, back to my waffling. Of course, if you're new to the Air Max 1 game and if you're trying to buy these at resale, because the prices aren't even that bad to be fair, or even if you're waiting for a restock, of course, sizing is on your mind. Now these do fit a little different to the patterns and the concepts that I do have, and I've got to say it is kind of a good thing. For me, the Air Max 1s majority of the time do fit true to size. But the concepts and the patterns, for example, they just have a little bit more room than the average Air Max 1. But this one for me, I feel like they bring it back sort of to the OG styling. Maybe because they've changed it up a little bit in terms of the materials, but for me, overall, these are more true to size than those. They just fit a little bit more comfortable and even a little bit more snug. And that's exactly what I want from my sneakers anyway. Not too snug, but just the right amount. So the Air Max 1 Treeline overall in terms of sizing is a true to size fit. So they did retail at £135 here in the UK. But then again, it kind of changed based on your retailer. The pair on Slam Jam retailed for £115, but because of shipping and that stuff, it came to £130. But I guess when it came to the retailers, majority of the time it was about £135. And looking at StockX, the resale prices aren't even that bad. A US 10, which is my size, is actually going for £155, so that's not too bad. But when it comes to that, I wouldn't think too long about pulling the trigger. I feel like the prices are that low because people are trying to get rid of their pairs. I sort of like the concepts. Once they're sold, I feel like the prices will slowly creep up. So if you're waiting to pull the trigger, I'd say do it now. But with all the pricing aside, now it's time to have an even closer look at this bad boy. Now, I've always been a fan of that leather finish to an Air Max 1, but there is just something about a suede finish to it as well. Now, the mudguard itself is of course in that green colorway, which is mostly suede, but those creamy overlays towards the mid panels especially are of that nubuck. Now, the Nike swooshes are more of a hairier suede compared to the mudguards in that pink type color, and it really does work well here. Now, the toe box in itself is of course in this mesh. I guess this colorway is sort of like a copper color. It's sort of on the fence between a gold and a brown. Now, the laces these sneakers do come with did all right, I guess, but I just had to swap them out. The original laces do come in this predominantly green colorway with these dots all over, and they're not even 3M, so I don't even see the point of these, to be fair. Now, when it comes to laces with sneakers, I do like them just like how I like my woman. I like them more on the thicker side. I weren't really a fan of these thin laces, so I thought, you know what, let me do a little lace swap. And I was sort of torn because I put the pink laces in to sort of complement the Nike swooshes. But then I put the cell laces in and I was like, you know what, this just goes with so many more different outfits. So in the end, I went for the cell pair, and I think it just makes the sneaker pop that much more. But anyway, back to the program. The lace holes in itself is pretty standard here, but the tongue is again in this copper colorway and it feels like that sort of soft nylon. But we have that dark purple patch with the Nike Air Max branding at the top of the tongue. Now, this brown soft cotton sock liner is so nice on feet, honestly, but the insole really does steal the show. It's got sort of that sketch look and it has the exact same design as the outsole. And in terms of the color of it, it goes so well with the rest of the shoe. Of course, we've got that purple Nike Air Max branding towards the back as well. But moving on to the ankle color. It's got that sort of shiny effect that we do have on the tongue in this copper colorway again. And then making our ways to the heel counter, we've got that suede panel at the back with that gold Nike Air Max stitch in there. And I'm glad they went for gold. If they went for pink, it might have been a different story. Now, I don't know if they've changed the midsole that much, but it does feel more comfortable than your regular Air Max 1. But in terms of the colorway, it does come in this cell color, which does work so much better than your regular white. It gives it a little bit more of an aged look to it. Now, there is that sort of purple / pink tint to the air unit as well. And it's these little details that make the combo of this colorway so nice. Now, the outsole in itself does look black at first glance, but it is in actual fact a dark grey. And I guess we'll never know comparing it to a black outsole, but it does work well. Now, I might be getting ahead of myself, but I'm starting to think this might be Nike's best GR that they've released this year, so far anyway. I might be talking out of my gluteus maximus, but comment down below if you agree with me. And this part of the video might just help you out if you're waiting to pull the trigger when it comes to the resale. Of course, we've come to that part where we decide together whether these are a buy or a buy. Of course, I'm such an Air Max fanboy and I don't even deny it. I proper scream about how much I love Air Max. Maybe because there isn't that much hype when it comes to Air Max sneakers, especially the GR ones anyway. But you know what, in my opinion, if Travis Scott had his name on these or someone else along that line, I think these would be selling so much better. The colorway in itself is super clean and minus the QC issues with some people's pair. The materials for the best part on this shoe is a lot better than what we're used to by Nike. And Nike do have their reputation when it comes to UC? Universal Credit? What? And Nike, of course, have their reputation when it comes to their QC. Whether it is glue stains on their pairs or even the lack of consistency, even the same shoe, like the left shoe will be looking different to the right shoe. I'm just hoping that they turn the corner very soon because a lot of people are steering to other brands. But the Air Max 1, the one that started it all. This colorway for me, just like Justin Timberlake, has been justified. I was very excited when I saw leaked images to this shoe and I'm even more excited to have these in hand. And you don't always get an Air Max 1 with suede on them, so I just had to snap these up. So much so, I even wanted to double up. In my opinion, there's only one answer to this one. Of course, overall broskies, I am going to give the Air Max 1 Treeline an absolute buy. But comment down below what your thoughts are. Did you manage to pick these up at retail? Have you even been waiting for a restock? Or have you been waiting to pull the trigger at resale? Leave it all down below and I will pin the best comment. Anyways, broskies, thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience on this review. I know some of you were waiting for this one, but you know what they say, better late than never. Of course, hit me up on IG as well if you have any questions or just want to show me some love. I'm most active over there. And whilst you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And of course, until the next episode, take care.